Hello, it's Icy. I'm back again with part two, not four, of my thoughts about Star Wars. Rogue One. This time, there will be spoilers in this episode. Video, small part of thing where I'm talking to you. So previously I just talked about general Star Wars world building, explanation type stuff. So this one, this movie made me feel sad for the characters in the movie. So one of the first things is they've done the thing which many movies do, where you must have the main hero has to overcome some sort of emotional, problem, which they've done by killing the mother. Which is, that's a fairly time-tested trope and lots of people do it. Now, the thing I found interesting and sad, in a way, was it's very clear Jin's mother chooses her husband over her child. And I found that quite profoundly sad, actually. She could have been, for the story, she could have, or as a character, she could have escaped with Jin and somehow been, she fell over, hurt herself, told Jin to run ahead. But no, she actually physically says, Jin, you go, and then goes back to her husband to die with him. What's she going to do? Nothing. She can't do anything for him. And effectively, she's left her daughter, who's, looks about 8 or so, to live the rest of her life alone. So that was one thing that really made that movie, it gave it like a base to start from that goes, yeah, you've been abandoned. The Empire is there and they've taken, but no, you were actually abandoned by your mother as well, right up front. She chose your father over you, and I don't think that's anything that should happen to a child ever. So that's the first bit. The second bit was, very morally ambiguous characters. When, the hero, Captain, what's his name? I'm awful with names. You're lucky I remember Jin's name. That's only because it's been on all the advertising. Anyway, the rebel commander, when he shoots his informant, seriously, my eyebrows went so far up they nearly left my forehead. It was like, oh! And I was thinking about the kids, the little kids who were sitting right behind me going, oh, when are they going to ask their dad who's bought them? Which is a lovely thing for any dad to do. Maybe to the other Star Wars movie, not this one. They're going to go home and say, so Daddy, why did the good guy shoot him? Why did he kill his friend? It's like, okay, that's an interesting question to answer. So that's one thing. And he does it again later, where he basically just shoots one of the extremist rebels, who are defending the Jedi crystals, basically, to stop them being taken from the Empire. So, he makes a few choices. Now, I realize that's set up later, so that when they all decide, yes, we're all going to go to Scarif to retrieve the data files, that's their redemption, basically. They've done terrible things in the name of the Empire, in the name of the Republic, the Rebels Alliance, and this gives them a chance to redeem themselves. So that's another very grown-up aspect of this movie. So, Scarif, the data storage. Why aren't there more than one spot? From an IT perspective here, you don't have one backup site. You don't have all of your data coming to one backup site. I would have loved just a line in there somewhere that said something like, we're going to Scarif because the other 2 data backup sites are too far away for us to reach in time. Just one line. And I would have gone, okay, that's fine. That's fine. They're just coming here. Because anybody who sends their off-site data of the whole Empire to one site and hope that's fine deserves what they're getting. Anyway, also, the data's stored on tape on hard drives, which was amusing. I think it's also sorry, phone call. I don't mind that it's stored on hard drives in what's basically a huge tape library machine that goes up and takes the drive out and moves it around. And these are things you can get. They don't really even use them anymore necessarily because tape drives and that methodology doesn't happen anymore. Perhaps in really big places they still do it. Amazon and places probably do this for their Glacier storage. But in general, you don't need to do this anymore. So I thought that was interesting, but I'll give it a pass because in a sense it's that idea of the far future with recognizable technology that you can do by hand. You can fix your Starship with a spanner. You know, it's that kind of idea. You can back up your data and move it around by physically removing a disk drive and then climbing to the top of a ladder and then shoving the disk drive into the satellite dish. That was kind of amusing. Ditto with the great big Cat5 cable, basically, that they had to plug in. Because there's no Wi-Fi in the future, obviously. You can't hack into the Wi-Fi. To send the signal out to say, destroy the barrier so that we can get your signal out. Because it's got a lot of bandwidth. So it's just a few things that were just slightly, I don't know, maybe it's different if you're not coming from an IT perspective. That was all just slightly awkward, but that's okay. The end. That was interesting. They didn't try to escape. That's one comment of one review I read was they weren't trying to get away. Nobody was running for the ship. There was no ships taking off, trying to leave. None of them were trying to, break into a ship, of which there must have been lots on the ground, to try and escape. They're just kneeling on the beach, waiting for the fireball. And even in the Dirty Dozen, like, a handful of people get out. They're not all killed. Not every single one of them lost forever. Now, I know that obviously these characters don't come back in the future movies because they were recorded in the opposite direction. But, a couple could have escaped. That would have been fine. To be on, small unnamed bit players. Excuse me. So that was interesting. Anyway, that's it. My thoughts about Star Wars Rogue One. If you two have thoughts, please leave them below. Tell me what you think. I'm really interested to see what different people thought about the movie, really. I did enjoy it, but yeah, grim is the way I describe it. And do give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Do subscribe, that button over there, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.